Hello. I'm popping in here before you even see this video to say it's kind of a mess. I've been having a weird week, but I wanted to talk you through like what I'm actually doing every day, like my day-to-day revision process. There's a lot of overlays of like random videos over when I'm talking, so maybe you want to listen to this like as a podcast. There's just like reasons I don't necessarily want my like face exposed the whole time. I am still really excited to talk through this video because I talk about like how I actually go through the steps of revising, like what my day-to-day workflow looks like for revising the project I'm working on. And I think it's interesting. I hope you do too. And if you don't, keep that to yourself. Okay, let's get to the video. He jumped from the ground onto my shoulders.
But it's going on for like 10-15 days, so.
It's very impressive. Very impressive. Oh, bless you. Hey. Oh, I thought at first I was like, you're not gonna be able to see me. And now I'm like, this angle is a little wild. Hi. Who am I? I'm Jake. I'm a traditionally published novelist. I've written middle grade and young adult novels. And now, my friends, I'm working on an adult romance. Because I'm new to this, like this is my first adult romance. I tried writing one before, but I never like got so far into it. But this is my first real time writing it and plotting. And now revising an adult romance, though revising, even though I haven't written the third act yet, like even a first draft of it, but it's fine because the whole plot has to change. And if I had written the third act, I would have had to go back and like edit the whole thing and like delete it, which is what I'm telling myself, but like it's just a delusion. It's all just delusions. Anyway, like I was saying, this is my first time writing an adult romance and I am working on revising now, and I thought it would be interesting to show you like literally just what is my like workflow setup, because I am in the thick of it, thick with 2 C's of revising my adult rom-com, and I figured like it could be really interesting to show you like just like what documents I have open. How do I work? Like what does my day-to-day look like when I'm doing this? Because, you know, I shockingly have basically been working from 9 to 5 doing this, like writing consistently for that whole time, which is a lot. Because like if you think about it, when you work retail, sometimes it's slow. You're not doing like tasks 100% of the time. If you work, which I worked retail, and trust me, I was not doing tasks 100% of the time. If you work a desk job, you're sometimes looking at Twitter, which trust me, I've worked a desk job and I've looked at Twitter. Anyway, so writing, like it's kind of shocking that I'm like at this point solidly writing for 8 hours a day. And what am I doing? What am I doing? I'm going to show you. Let's just get into it. This is what I did this morning. Imagine me sitting at the coffee shop, romantically typing away at my computer. Shockingly, I'm literally shocked. The things I pull up first is my Notion, which I made a video about setting up a Notion. And right now I am actually using it. I have the goal word count, which is 80,000 words. I just finished revising Act 1, which typically should be like 20% of the book. And that was 16,000 words after the revisions. And that's great because I would love the word count to end up being 80 to 90,000. And I know it always creeps up a little after the first act. And like then I can just like write a little more in the first act to keep it going, but whatever. It's good to start small because I am such an overwriter. And then I have like goals, through lines to keep track of, re-outline. And then at the bottom I have just like everything I've deleted from the first like 10 chapters of the book. And right now I just have up Notion so I can like keep track of that and just have that stuff up. Then I have next to it, I have the pitch for the rom-com just to remind myself like the overview of it. I have the updated synopsis and like I cross stuff out as I go, like as I've written, because I rewrote the synopsis when I was working on the edits, and now I'm revising like to the synopsis. So I'll cross stuff out as I go. If I change things in the manuscript, I'm like, oh, this is a better idea. Like I'll update it in the synopsis itself. I have the old version of the document up on Word doc to like copy and paste like stuff that I want to reuse for this draft. And then I have like the most updated document that I send to like alpha readers and beta readers. I guess they're more beta readers at this point to read. And I have people reading the book like as I'm writing it because it really helps to get like notes and feedback. And I just really like doing that. Like I prefer for people to start reading it like soon and get feedback from them. And the reason I'm revising right now, like, I mean, I was going to have to revise it anyway, but my literary agent was like, if we're going to sell this and this is your first adult rom-com, like it needs to be like, it's gotta have like a one sentence like elevator pitch, like, oh my god, of course I want to buy that. I'm an editor. If you're an editor watching and you want to buy my book, go right ahead, please. I'm very fun to work with. So I'm like revising to that. So I've already had obviously like feedback as well from my literary agents. Like a lot of people's feedback has gone into this, and I kind of love that. Like that's part of what I love about doing traditional publishing, and honestly just like the writing community and the friends I've cultivated is that so many people are willing to give me feedback, and so many people are willing to like talk through plots with me, and it's just really nice. Then I have 2 Word docs. One is with the full like Word doc of everything that's left that I haven't revised, which is at this point 43,000 words. Also, it's so slow, this Word doc, because it's so long. And then I have at the very top like notes for each chapter of revisions and what I want to revise. Then I copy and paste it onto a doc that I work on for that day, which is, and I keep track changes on, and then I'm editing and revising and deleting and re-adding stuff like for that day. So like today I started with like a 7,500 word, like 2 chapters, and I wanted to revise it down to about 4,000 words. It's at 6,000 now, so I still have more to do. But I changed like the whole kind of plot conceit changed in this round of revision. So I'm also just like changing sort of the characters to make it make sense. Yeah, so I open the Word doc with all the text, look at what I have to do for the day because I planned out like what revisions I have to do per chapter. Then open up the couple chapters that I want to work on each day because I'm trying to finish this revision in May, which would mean revising it and rewriting or writing the ending of the book, which would be like 20,000 words and would probably take me like 10 days. So I have 15 days, let's say, to revise what I've already written, and then like 15 days to write and then revise that ending. So I feel good about that. I don't know if it'll exactly happen like that, but yeah, then I have, as you can see, I keep track changes on. I'm going through it really fast so you can't see like the actual text, and I have it read it word for word. Let me play a part that doesn't give away too much about the plot. I'll just like play a little, and this is what I do. I read it aloud. I have Word read aloud everything for me, because that is the only way I can hear what's wrong. Like the way just my processing works, I need it to be read aloud to me, and then I'll make the revisions, and it's like just a good starting point. And I'll typically read over like the previous chapter as well. So here, I'll play this.
Well, it's at 2, he says matter-of-factly. Seriously, no.
And yes, that's the speed I listen to it at. And like I'm listening and I'm reading the words. Sometimes though, if I want to make sure it really makes sense, I'll close my eyes so I can't read it. Because sometimes when I read it, I like read ahead a little.
Do not know things. He's the titular, miss. I swore. Are you laughing at titular? Jared asks, his expression grave.
Anyway, yes, that's the speed. It's really fast, I know. And then once I have that, so later today, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take that, what I've revised, I'm going to read through it and then delete the track changes, or like accept the track changes, then read through it again, and then paste it onto that document on Google Docs. So this is on Word because Word can read it aloud. Paste it onto Google Docs. By the way, Google, if you put like not an extension, just like a feature in Google Docs that's like, this will read it aloud easily, I would just stay on Google Docs. I would not even use Word. Well, that's not true. I know you can edit offline, but I don't really trust that. Anyway, am I speaking really particularly fast today? So I'm going to do that. Then I'm going to paste it onto the Google Doc with like all of the revised stuff. And then I'll probably read through the whole thing, which at this point is like 25,000 words. I'll paste it into a Word doc and have it read it aloud, or I'll use the accessibility feature on my phone to play aloud the Google Doc and like look at it on my computer. Does this make any sense? And as I do that, I'll make changes, and so that I'm like especially satisfied with it, because at this point, like I hope it's not going to change too much before I go in submission. So I want it to be like pretty clean. So I'll do that, and then I'll send it to, well, I guess they're already on the Google Doc, but I'll let my alpha and beta readers know like there's new stuff on there if you want to read it. They'll give me comments. I'll make some revisions. Then like the next day I'll like read over what I have. Typically I like to like maybe start in the middle of something so I feel like motivated. So maybe I'll start another chapter today, and then I'll have that like Word doc up, and I'll be able to work on that next chapter tomorrow with like a little bit already done, which always feels good. So yeah, that is the process. I feel like I just like talked without breathing for like 10 minutes. If you have any questions about my process, please let me know. I'd love to answer them. And if you have any suggestions for me, I'd love to hear those too. I'm by no means an expert. I'm just figuring it out. And I will see you either tomorrow if this is a vlog, or next time if this is just a video.